Today I'm going to share with you how you can attract a conscious partner into your life. Whether you're at the beginning of this journey or you've already done a lot of work around this and now find yourself in a sense of frustration and in a sense of why is this not happening yet? What else do I need to do? Or what do I need to release? To make this episode as powerful as possible, I'm going to start with the common pitfalls that even very conscious people fall into. Then I'm going to share with you the exact practice of how you can attract a conscious partner into your life. The exact practice that allows for the highest possibility for you to draw a divine partnership into your life. And of course, I will also share with you what it is exactly that you need to release in your life in order to make space energetically for this divine union to enter your life. And I will share practical steps on how you can do that. This episode was inspired by someone in the broadcast channel. I've got a broadcast channel on Instagram, and I take a lot of inspiration from the broadcast channel, and last week I asked what topics you would like to hear more of, and the most liked one was around attracting a conscious partner and feeling frustration around this. So make sure to follow my broadcast channel, because this allows me to serve you much deeper when you share your input around what you want me to create more content about. My name is Lorin Kren, and I'm a coach, author, and hypnotherapist. I help you to understand masculine and feminine dynamics. Pitfall number one that so many people, even very conscious people, fall into in this journey of attracting a conscious partner is forcing the process too much, adding too much pressure to this process. I need to attract them. What else do I need to do to attract them? Why are they not here in my life? I think I'm doing everything right, but how can this be? Let's slow down for a moment. It is very powerful to be excited about something, but we need to discern between grounded excitement and ungrounded excitement. Ungrounded excitement is something that either is or quickly turns into some kind of nervousness, a nervous anxiety. It's not something that empowers you, but you're not rooted, you're not grounded. It's like, oh, wow, and the energy is hectic and everything is in a rush. And even very conscious people find themselves often falling into this energy unknowingly in this process, and you become restless in a way. And also hidden within ungrounded excitement often lie unconscious expectations, attachment to the outcome of when, how it's going to be. What happens when we have these expectations is then if it doesn't happen, we kind of have an internal narrative. Why is this not happening? Am I doing something wrong? Why is this happening for others, but maybe it's not happening for me? Here you can see that then limiting stories and interpretations and beliefs start to be created. And in truth, that's just unnecessary suffering that we add to this journey. And I'm going to share much more and get very practical today, which will allow you to really, really see with clarity what I mean here, why it is unnecessary suffering. Also within that unconscious expectation can still lie some form of fantasy. A fantasy that they will make me happy. My life will finally be in alignment, finally this will happen when they enter my life. The grounded approach to this is they will wonderfully complement and amplify my life, but I still have to do the work. So no matter how secure they are, no matter how conscious they are, they cannot heal anything for me. We can heal together, but even in the most divine union, we still have our unique journey of soul expansion and our unique shadows that we need to face and work with and integrate. You see, the ungrounded excitement, the fantasy, the unconscious expectations are still, in a very subtle way, a form of escapism. They over-glorify the whole thing. And when I say over-glorify, a divine partnership from my understanding and embodied awareness is the most sacred blessing in this life. But when I say over-glorify, I'm saying glorify this narrative that by being in this relationship, it will heal you. It will change everything. It will. But it will also lead you to have your shadows really intensely exposed. And that's an intense process. And we need to be mindful to not over-glorify that, because when we over-glorify that, we essentially only focus on how it will amplify our life. But it's both. And that's why a grounded excitement is this deeper understanding that we don't need to be in a state of waiting and hecticness and restlessness because the challenges we have are not gonna go away. That restlessness might still be there, but reveal itself in a different way. So the frustration you feel around attracting a conscious partner is not gonna go away when you meet them. What? Why not? Because the frustration is not just around drawing them into your life. It's something deeper inside you. This might be hard to hear, but I trust that when you're here, that your heart is open to perhaps receive this, or to at least reflect about this within the depths of your own powerful heart. Pitfall number 2, making quote-unquote bad experiences part of the story of suffering. So for instance, many people who are very focused on attracting a conscious partner into their life, any date, any experience that doesn't go unbelievably well, in the sense that they meet the perfect partner and everything is divine from that moment on, becomes part of a story of suffering. That you're doing something wrong, and why have you attracted that? And why are you experiencing that? And why have you not seen this before, that this is not the right relationship or not in alignment? And then it becomes this heaviness, this heavy story, this frustration. A date doesn't go the way you want to. It feels like the end of the world. A relationship doesn't turn out to be what you thought it would be, which is very painful. But it can lead you to see all these things through a very negative lens. The negative lens, it's still not happening after all the things I've done. The frustrating lens. If you are trying too hard, then you're putting too much pressure on yourself. And in a way, you're sabotaging the process, because the idea is to take aligned action. The practice, and we're going to talk soon about the practice in detail, of attracting a conscious partner is alignment. Aligning every area of your life to this reality. The more you are in alignment, the higher the chance of drawing them into your life. And if you are frustrated, if you have some story, why is it not happening? I'm doing all these things. And you're constantly worried, is it happening for me? Maybe it's for others, maybe not for me, maybe. Then you're in a way sabotaging the process, because you're taking away the joy of the now. And over-glorifying the sense that then that frustration will magically dissolve when you meet them. Pitfall number 3. Believing you have control over the timeline. Whew, that's a big one. Many people try to control the process of attracting a conscious partner into their life. They try to control, unconsciously, the divine timeline, in a sense of, I say this is going to happen now, and why is this not happening now? Which causes so much resistance to how the present moment journey is unfolding. It's essentially saying, I know better than life, better than the universe, better than God, better than the divine source. And when we do that, boom! It's just there is a shift in our energy, and we are just not as aligned and not as connected to the divine source and to divine guidance. Just because you are doing everything right doesn't mean a conscious partner is going to knock on your door tomorrow. Please stop shaming yourself. Stop believing in narratives that you control this universe through every thought, every action. You do have a lot of power. But every soul goes through their unique, specific journey, and there are so many nuances to your journey. Some people are so unconscious and meet the right partner. Some people meet the right partner late in their life, and they have been deep practitioners for decades. Does that mean the person who has been a deep practitioner has done something terribly wrong? No. It means they are on a unique and different journey. Let's let go of this idea that the manifestation teachings have brought into this world, that we control everything. The idea of manifestation is surrender. Control what you can control, but let go. Let go of what you cannot control, or what is up to the divine plan, to the divine source. Manifestation has become this frustrated, pushing, forcing, aggressive, productive, hard-working thing. But manifestation has always been about alignment and surrender. It's not about passively doing nothing, but it's about taking aligned action. And aligned action is when you surrender to the deeper process and the deeper guidance. Do your work. Control what you can control, which is your practices, how you show up in most moments, and ultimately your energy. And then relax and allow yourself to surrender, receive, and allow the universe and the divine source to do its work. Once you remove the pressure and the resistance and frustration out of attracting a conscious partner, the journey becomes so much more fulfilling and aligned. The final pitfall before I reveal the exact practice and what you need to release to make space for them to enter your life. The final pitfall is fate and free will. Most people have never heard it from this lens before, perhaps. If we say everything is predestined in our lives, then this could lead us to be very passive in the process of manifesting anything, or specifically here, manifesting a conscious partner. But if we say everything is free will, then this leads us back to what I shared before, trying to control too much and believing that we are responsible for everything that happens, that we control the whole universe. So too much of one creates an imbalance. I say it is the middle path, the harmonious path. I say there is fate, there is divine destiny, and then there is your free will to choose and align with your path, with your deeper purpose, with your deeper soul's mission, which is your destiny. And aligning with that is your free will, is your choice, because many people have a lot of potential, but perhaps they're closing themselves off to the path. And then you could argue life will throw things into their life that awaken them, but still there has to be a choice within that they choose to be awakened and heal through the painful experiences. So there is a free will component in this, but it's not all free will, at least from my embodied understanding. There is a divine plan, a divine destiny, and then there is our free will and our conscious choice to align with it. And this allows you to see this from a very balanced, harmonious, and freeing perspective and approach. So let me reveal the exact practice. And there is a lot to say around this, but I'm going to keep this concise, clear, and really practical. Number one, I invite you to write down on a list, on a paper, not about how the person looks, what languages they speak, even though that might be interesting, but not focusing on how they look, where or what exactly is going to happen, but to focus solely on how you feel in your heart and soul when you are with them. Don't get specific on how, where, what. Get specific, extremely specific as you possibly can, as detailed as you can, around how it lights up your soul, how safe you feel, how at home you feel. And once you have done this, it's very important to do this from an aligned energy. Do some breath work, to create a sacred space, do some practice. Drop into your body and heart. Do whatever you need to do to align your energy. Otherwise, if you're distracted and then just write it quickly down, it won't be as powerful because it won't come from your deepest being and the clearest channel from within you. And then I invite you to read that out loud every single day as part of your spiritual practice alongside the things you do. And if you don't, I invite you to incorporate a powerful spiritual practice because we all need that in this hectic and overstimulated life. And once you read that every single day, really feeling into this and even perhaps meditating and visualizing and feeling into that to make it even more powerful. The second thing is I invite you to go and initiate an energetic cleanse in your life. Cleansing everything and clearing everything in your life step by step. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. But to create space in both your physical environment, your emotional and spiritual inner environment for them to enter your life. This means from cleansing and clearing old painful emotions to clothes and gadgets and tools you no longer use, things that are just lying around in the house. Get practical around what is it that you want to clear, what is it that you want to cleanse. Because all of this allows you to free up awareness, allows you to create space internally and in your energy field for them to enter your life. Which leads us to the third and most important one. And that is to look in your life where you're currently out of alignment. Much more important than writing down a list, or equally as important, is to look at all the areas where you're out of alignment. Because if you're completely out of alignment in your career, for instance, then this is going to impact your energy incredibly. If you are completely out of alignment in meeting people who don't make you feel safe whatsoever, this is going to impact your energy a lot. So look at anything in your life that impacts your energy a lot and clear and cleanse yourself from that, if possible, to make space, because then your energy is much more in alignment. Now, for some of you, listen, if you have to be in a job for a few years longer or for whatever time frame because you have to, please do not take this in the sense of that you need to now give that up in order to. There are no black and white rules in that sense in the universe. You can have a job you're not as passionate about and still attract a conscious partner into your life. But at least you have to work on creating some form of balance. You have to work on not allowing it to take over your entire life, or at least you have to work in some way on a strategy to eventually free yourself from that. And as you do that, you are already getting back into alignment. It's not about being perfectly healed or being perfectly in alignment. No, it's about taking the steps we need to take where we are in our present moment. And that's it. If you do these three things, if you really devote yourself to this and you stay consistent with them, please write these things down or re-listen again, because it's that powerful and that potent. If you do that, then you create the highest possibility of drawing and attracting a conscious partner into your life. And in that journey, you will feel fulfilled, you will feel aligned, and you won't give away your joy and all of that until it finally happens. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I'm so honored to be of service in your powerful and divine and sacred journey. In order for us to continue to serve you at the highest level and to provide these episodes entirely for free, it would mean the world to me to have a few seconds or a minute of your time. by leaving the show 5 stars wherever you are listening to this, the audio version, or a thumbs up on YouTube, or even more, writing a little review about your experience of this show, or sharing it with someone who you think can benefit from this or who needs to hear this right now. These are always, no matter which way you decide or whichever aligns most with you, that allow us to reach more people, that allow us to continue to serve you at the deepest level. I also invite you to join my broadcast channel in Instagram. If you click on my Instagram account in the profile, you will be able to join the broadcast from there. There you can suggest content. Periodically we'll be asking what content you want to hear most of, and you can comment on that. And then the one that gets it feels in most alignment, the most people resonate with, I'm going to choose that. There's a highly likelihood that many topics will be chosen. Now, if you want to benefit from more free offerings, I invite you to subscribe, if you haven't already, to my free newsletter, or to download any of my free ebooks. You can find my free ebooks, my newsletter, in the show notes. Or you can head over to lorincren.com/newsletter, or for my free ebooks, lorincren.com/books. Once again, I'm so honored to be of service in your journey. It means the world to me, and I wish you a wonderful day and upcoming weeks wherever you are right now.